Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. You've made it another week, another year of this year. We are coming up on the end of our ride on the Dragon and that eclipse. But man, I'm starting to feel a little sick, a little woozy. This morning, La Luna, the Moon, and Venus, the two astrological bodies that represent women, they walked in hand into the sign of Virgo. Today we have a tilted lens of the mother, of the cosmos, of Earth. The South Node is in Virgo. In the U.S. Sibley chart, the South Node is brushing past, touching the U.S.'s natal Neptune at 22 degrees Virgo and their natal position of Ceres. This is a bit of a tricky constellation, of course, because Neptune's involved. Neptune, the myth, the fog, Ceres, the vessel, the mother, the harvest, the love, the grief, mother who feeds and nourishes. Virgo is service, the body, small hands that do all the work. So let's think about La Luna and Venus entering Virgo together at the 0 degree, holding hands, while this weekend we have a new moon in Virgo at the 29th degree. So let's think about that. The moon, our soul, our emotions, the cycles, the feelings. Venus, value, love, security. Together, and they walked into the sign of the holy vessel, Holy Mother who carries the light, who stores the seeds, who makes sanctuary out of plain things. In myth, the vessel is not nice and tidy and pure as they want us to believe. She's messy. She is the sickle. She is the bread. She is the bruise. She is power that is not always legible to those who understand and prefer conquest. For a long time, I was really focused on that Chiron in Aries and what's happening with America. Male identity wound, the humiliation of power theft. Wound is real and it ruptures people. It ruptures a lot of us. Uncovering it forced me to go deeper, go sideways. I discovered a much deeper, darker system that feeds all of this, I believe. The systematic hatred of women, not only women, of mothers, of Mother Earth, Earth herself. The repression of the divine feminine, and I don't mean that in an alt-right pipeline kind of way. Yeah, I've kind of been in a researching, reading, watching, like my own online horror show. There's an online horror story or a cultural program that is being fed quite well. That insists women are supposed to be a certain way. Women are supposed to serve. Men are supposed to be able to get sex. We must be small. We must be pure. We must be invisible. We must not take up space. But we're supposed to be available for service, while men are allowed the stage and the script. These wounded men. U.S. has its natal Saturn in Libra, and everyone would look at that and be like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. That's where Saturn feels really comfortable. Justice, yes. Relations, diplomatic, oh my goodness. But it's in opposition to the U.S.'s natal Chiron in the 4th house, the house that is known as the home. U.S., Saturn in Libra, yes, public institutions, law, the official face, it's that 10th house. Chiron in the 4th, the child, home, the wound that sits on the house. We have always, for until now, put out a very elegant front, while the home has been hollowed. That opposition, okay, is a portrait of a nation that manages appearances and hierarchical things while denying the care economics that actually sustain life. The U.S.'s moon is at the 27th degree of Aquarius in the Sibley chart. That's a Sabian image configuration that I can't kind of get out of my head. It's an ancient pottery bowl filled with violets. It's not just a pretty metaphor. It is a prescription. The bowl is simple. It is handmade. It is ordinary. The violets are small, but they are fragrant and vibrant. Hidden beauty. The alchemy happens, though, when we stop pretending that we don't need the bowl, when we start honoring the delicate gifts inside. But there's also Lilith at work. She's not far from that natal moon. There's some repression. She's whispering through the edges. Our boundary story, our refusal to be contorted into someone else's purity policing politics. Lilith presence across to Neptune's says the illusions are thick. Land without limits, bodies without borders, appetites justified until they break. The lack of boundary allowed the caging. The lack of boundary allowed the silencing. The lack of boundary allowed the systems that treat the feminine as a commodity or the enemy. Either one. So, what will this partial new moon eclipse demand out of us? It will ask the mother to be named, I believed. It will ask us to locate the places who told us to hate our origins, our towns, our mothers, our bodies. It will demand that we change that tape, because systems that teach self-hate, that's what keeps populations governable, controllable. If you hate where you come from, you automatically hate a part of yourself. They have taught us to hate the woman who first gave us milk, the woman who first gave us space. This eclipse can fracture this script, but we have to be willing to do the labor, to look at our histories, to hold the messy, and to name the harms. Action is not complicated. It begins with small, sacred things. Get your feet into some dirt. Touch the ground. Tend to a bowl of food with love. Protect the women and children and people you love. Be loud in public spaces. Use your brain and your intuition. Virgo says you have both. Don't just trust the first narrative you're handed. Journal what you've learned about your own mother line. Call your aunt. Call your grandma. Plant something. Shelter a person. Teach a child to cut bread. I said a couple of things about September. That the world would change. I'll get back to that in a second. And that we definitely cannot trust what we are going to see, what they are going to put out there. Yeah. My whole world changed because I did not even realize the series of holes that had been sewn up and hidden, sealed with neat little lies. It hurt. It opened me. I'm still sitting with it. The fact that, like, women can just be hated so much. I mean, we all knew. You can see it. Anytime a woman ran for president, the men that we liked all of a sudden became shitty. I'm telling you this because the sky has handed us a door. It always does. We have to choose to step through with our eyes open. If we keep that old tape, the shame, the secrecy, the hatred of the mother, there may be no going back. Look at Elon and how he reproduces spawn. If we learn to honor the vessel, to honor the bowl, to honor the cup, the sickle, the cycle, the song, we can prepare for a future where we aren't just super easy to govern and control, and maybe a future that is softer for us and our children to live in. I gotta be seeing this wound of the boy and the incels that I like words I shouldn't even say because I don't even know that much about it. It's hard to realize how unsafe and how hated you are. We must be loud. We must be kind. We must be critical, like critical thinking, and be able to step up and say, that's not right. That's not true. You guys are gaslighting. That's not right. Put your hands in the earth. You come from her. They hate her too for some reason. And she's still here. And she still nourishes. She also taketh away. Trust your gut. This weekend, don't trust your eyes. I love you all. And I need you all to be safe. I love you all. Be very safe this weekend. When I saw La Luna and Venus moving into Virgo together, I had a very big realization of how vast the sickness is. I've been watching stuff that I wouldn't recommend anyone watch. We have a huge wound. Virgo at the 29th degree is saying, what are we doing? Are we going to learn from this? Are we going to take it out? Be safe this weekend.